Welcome to FPB's Meet the Candidates. This Cable 10 series allows you, the voter, to hear directly from our candidates about local issues that are important to you and our community. This is all leading up to the general election, where early voting starts on October 13th and goes until Election Day on November 3rd. So for our interviews, we have taken questions from the community via email and social media. So we have a lot to talk about, so let's jump right in. Today's guest is Wes Culbertson, and he is a candidate for Jailer. So, hey, Wes, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for Jailer?
My name is Wes Culbertson. I'm 35 years old. I have a wife named Shane and a son named Wyatt. I've lived in Franklin County all my life. I attend Buck Run Baptist Church. Like hunting, fishing, like what I do at the jail. It's never really been a job, but a career. I've started at the bottom, worked my way to the top, and I've only got a couple more positions to go to get to reach my career goal, and hope the citizens of Franklin County would be proud to have me as jailer.
Excellent. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience that you think has prepared you to be jailer?
Like I said, I've started at the bottom. I went, left for a little bit, come back in 2014, started as a deputy walking the floor. So I know what our deputies go through day-to-day basis as far as working shift. I've worked my way up to running shift and knowing the stresses and the day-to-day functions that go on at the jail as far as a supervisor and how stressful it can be on people. I've been captain over various things on day shift as far as transport, kitchen. I know the ins and outs of the jail, mechanically, maintenance-wise. I've done a little bit of everything up there. So right now I'm currently in a maintenance position as a captain, as the maintenance director. So I know what the jail needs in and out, every aspect that's up there.
Okay. Well, for those who may not be in the know, can you share with us what the responsibilities of the jailer are?
We control the budget, main thing for the citizens of Franklin County. To me, being the jailer would be make sure each and every one of my staff members make it in and out every day as safe as possible, take care of the inmates, care, custody, and control of the inmates, and just lead the jail as well as possible.
Okay. Well, as from someone who works up there, what do you think is the biggest issue facing the jail right now, and how do you propose to address it?
Well, our biggest issue is our facility, of course. It's very old. I get to see a lot of the maintenance breakdowns, of course, where I'm on maintenance. There's things in place to where Judge Wells and the physical court is trying to address the functions of the jail with this energy savings group that's coming through, the energy updates we're trying to do at the jail. Lawsuits are going to happen. It's a jail. It's where all the negativity and the bad of the county goes to. People really don't realize that. The best thing we can do is just, figure out where our breakdowns go or where they're coming from, figure out how to fix them, and just keep moving forward.
Okay. So right now in Franklin County, we have more than 500 reported cases of COVID-19. In other areas, we've seen massive outbreaks of coronavirus in correctional facilities. What are the steps in a pandemic response plan that you would implement or to address or prevent the possible outbreaks or slowing the spread at the jail in the future?
I believe our current jailer is doing an excellent job with that. There wouldn't be really no breakdown or change of anything he's doing. Quarantine is key, keeping our newly arrested inmates away from the rest of the population of the jail to make sure that they're not carrying any of the symptoms of that, of the COVID virus before being moved to population. And just that quick response, any fever breakout or anybody showing any type of symptoms, get them moved away from other inmates, get them the treatment they need, get them out of the facility. That way it doesn't spread throughout the facility. And just try to keep a cap on it the best we can. Okay.
Well, nationwide, the COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated the systemic inequalities that lead to persons with mental illness being treated differently than other prison populations. So what improvements do you suggest to effectively address the mental health of prisoners?
Oh, that's a very tough, broad question. I don't know. Really don't know how to answer that right now. So,
Possibly, looking into future programs to put in place, things like that.
well, we have our comp care guidelines that we follow that, we can contact, and anybody that comes in mentally unstable, to get the proper care and provide whatever needs to be through that direction. Anybody that needs to get to Eastern State or um, just make sure that's in place.
Okay. I know it has been an issue in the past. How would you ensure that the medical program there, just in general, is adequate to meet the needs at the jail?
We got really good nurses that work at the jail. Southern Health Partners is a great medical staff personnel that we have there. I really don't see anything that they've done, negative. We've got just keep great people in there. We've got an excellent nurse staff that's up there right now.
Okay. Well, as jailer, you will likely have to deal with the effects of the drug epidemic that we are seeing, not only in our county, but nationwide. So how will you ensure that addicted inmates get the necessary critical treatment that they need? And how will you ensure that inmates do not have access to drugs in the facility?
Well, we have our body scanner there that everybody gets scanned as they come in. If an inmate's decided they're going to bring something in the facility, they've got time to think to know ways of getting it in past us. It's not 100% accurate, 100% way to stop it. There's several treatments that you can recommend these guys take. It's all about what they want to do, really. You can't really force anybody into doing something they don't want to do. Our scanner is pretty good at catching things as it comes through the door. But like I said, if anybody wants to get something through the doors, they're going to get it through.
So if that happens, then what policies are in place or any changes that you might make that holds those inmates accountable for criminal activity in the facility?
I'll just keep hitting them with the promoting contraband is a big felony charge. You bring drugs into the facility, you're going to get charged. And people know that, and as a jailer, I would strongly advise them, if you bring this into the facility, I'm not going to stop until I make sure you're held accountable for your actions.
Okay. This summer, after the deaths of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, our country saw a rising movement in the calls for social justice. So my question to you is, do Black Lives matter?
I think every life matters. It's not a black or white or a brown. It's every life. I mean, we're all created equal. We're all created from, our Father in heaven, and we all matter.
So when it comes to the Franklin County Jail, how do you feel that it rates when it comes to effectively ensuring the equal treatment of minority inmates?
Everybody's treated the same. We don't see it as black or white, or like I said, brown and coming in. When you come in, you're one color, you're orange. And you're treated accordingly. You're treated with the utmost respect and professionalism as anyone can tolerate.
Okay. Recently, the jail has been in the news after an investigation found that a former chief deputy violated the jail's sexual harassment policy. As jailer, what steps would you take to ensure that this behavior is not tolerated?
The investigation was key. I mean, you got to investigate things like that to make sure, there's always two sides to every story. You got to investigate and make sure that what has been done is true, of course. And then, you follow your policy. And if you're found guilty of sexual harassment or whatever, then you don't need to be working there. And if charges need to be implemented or, handed down, then so be it.
Okay. If elected, what would you do to ensure an improvement in transparency efforts at the jail?
Well, honesty is key. I try to do everything, and I speak from the heart. There's some things that can't be transparent, as far as like if you're doing an investigation that they can't be transparent. But things that community needs to know and the citizens of Franklin County need to know, I would put it out there. I wouldn't hold nothing back or try to hide anything.
Okay. Beyond male and female employees, what is your plan to ensure equal treatment of male and female inmates?
We're all adults. You know, cops do it every day on the street as far as when it comes to male and female officers dealing with male and female inmates, I guess if you could call it. I kind of stumped with this question. I'm kind of caught up in something with it now, but just, you know, we're adults. We need to act like it. I can deal with a female inmate just as well as a male inmate. It's all about my character and my integrity on how I do things.
Okay. What innovative programming would you think about implementing at the jail if you were the jailer? And this could be anything that increases revenue, impacts recidivism, or provides education and training for the prisoners. What have you thought about doing things that need to be done at the jail?
Well, I would like to see something for our female state inmates. They don't get to go out and work in the community like our male inmates do. But that would be a lot to entail to do that, to get them out into the community. I mean, you'd have to have a separate facility, a separate building to keep them away from anybody locked up inside, and definitely away from the other male inmates that are locked up. I would like to see them to be able to get out into the community and work just like our male inmates do. I know our Fed contract needs to be renegotiated. It's not that it's not being worked on. It's being worked on by the previous jailer, Rick Rogers, and our current jailer, Jake Mana. We're definitely not being paid what we should be as far as other counties surrounding, but that would be one of the things of revenue to try to bring in. And, of course, keep our state inmate population up, which is really hard right now with the COVID outbreak. There's things in canteen that we could do to bring in to help offset some of that, not necessarily revenue, but needs of the jail to put toward.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned what are some suggestions you would have to increase revenue and to cut costs there at the jail?
Well, there's things I would like to add to canteen to provide for the inmates. Like I said, getting the final renegotiations on that Fed contract needs to be done. And like just our state population, our federal inmates are what make the most for the county. So that's something that really needs to be addressed and kept up.
Okay. Well, as jailer, training for your employees is important. So what would you focus on priorities as far as properly training your staff? What are some trainings they need?
Well, we have an excellent training program already in place. I wouldn't change anything we're doing with our training. They go through a 2-week course. Any new deputy goes through a 2-week course in our jail. Learn anything from PREA to inmate restraint to weapons qualifications to dealing with inmates, the stress of the job. Our training is very, very, very accurate and very good, I believe. I wouldn't change much in our training.
Okay. So I know there's good things going on at the jail.
There is.
Yeah. So what would you do to better communicate with the public, the activities at the jail that are good work of the staff?
I really like the thing that the sheriff's department used to do with the knowing what it's like to be a sheriff's deputy. I think the jail would be very beneficial to that, to bring people in to kind of show what our guys do go through on a daily basis and the operations of the jail. A lot of people think that inmates just come in, they sit down, they watch TV, they sleep, and they eat. And there's a lot more to the jail than just that. So I would like to, implement something like that to bring people in, to give them better familiar of the action or the process of the jail and what actually really goes on.
Okay, that's good. As jailer, are there certain goals that you have? What goals would you champion during your term as jailer?
I would really like to see a new facility as jailer, but I know we've got things into place to try to get the building that we have now in better shape than what it is. Rick Rogers come in and did a very, very good job of bring the jail back up from where it was at. But we're dealing with an old building, and to have a new facility would be great.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you give your closer and let you talk about directly to the voters about why you're the best candidate for the job. And feel free to ask them for their vote and let them know where they can find out more about you.
Okay. My name is Wes Culbertson. I am your Republican candidate for Franklin County Jailer. You can follow me on my Facebook page, Wes Culbertson for Franklin County Jailer. I really would appreciate your vote come November 3rd. I just want to thank everybody for your time, and God bless.
Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time today, and I know our viewers appreciate it too. It's important for them to hear from our candidates. So to the viewers, I want to say thank you for watching, because again, you have to get informed before you go vote. And don't forget, you can vote early starting on October 13th. That'd be downtown at next to City Hall in the old FPB building. And you can also do mail-in voting. You can request your absentee ballot at govoteky.com. If you don't want to put it in the mail, you can take it down to the old plant board office, as I mentioned before, in a drop box. You can put it there. Or you can go vote on November 3rd at the same place. So there's lots of options to go vote. And it's very important this time that all of our citizens in our community be proactive in choosing the leadership, because it's a very important year. We're going to have many new city officials. We're going to have a new mayor, new city commissioners, and we're going to have a new jailer. And that's what Wes is here to talk about. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Meet the Candidates.